Amazing audience, we are live with Kristian Aleixo. Going to be fun. Going to be fun. Believe me, this is going to be fun.
Don't doubt it.
This guy's energy seems to be something that is really, really, really high. He's only been in here like 2 minutes.
2 minutes, you know. I want to credit this to the B12 shot that I took as I was driving here. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what I am up. I'm up now,
it's
man.
A great pleasure to connect with you,
likewise,
nice
thank you. Likewise.
Well, do tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time in history?
At this time, it would probably be my racing. I'm a professional race car driver. I also have a book out, my autobiography, My Life and Story, The Outside Groove. So I'm guessing that's how I got connected with them, which got me connected with you, and that's what kind of brings us all together now. And so
you're a driver.
I'm a driver. That's right, man. That's how I knew Charlie Patterson and Scott Stenzel when I saw the business card,
so who
man.
Did you learn that skill from? That skill of driving, or even let me slow it down. Let me do one thing. Who did you learn this?
Slow it down? No, that's the opposite of what you do in a race, man. We don't slow down.
Exactly. I think you do slow it down. I think
okay, we can.
Racing, yeah.
Right.
Slows down things that are going really
fast.
Yeah. So who did you learn that skill from? That skill of interpreting on that speed?
It's a gentleman named Dave Vodden out at Thunder Hill Raceway in Willows, California. He's the one who I credit with teaching me this. And I don't have the typical background of a normal race car driver. I'm probably the least likely race car driver in the history of the sport. And I say that because most drivers come from a wealthy background, parents who had money and could afford to send them karting and all this stuff. I didn't have that. I actually grew up homeless. So, coming from a background of being a homeless kid to, professional race car driver, very unlikely. But I definitely credit Dave Vodden with giving me a chance, a shot.
That's all I need. This is a quick question.
Let's hear it.
You don't need to answer it, right?
Okay.
Do you have in that history a history of drug use?
No.
That is a weird statistic as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that certain things do kind of connect, to each other. So, but no, it wasn't for drug use or anything like that. Just an unfortunate situation where I grew up with a single mom, and she passed away when I was very young, and had to go live with my dad, who wasn't in a position to take care of me, not because of drugs, but because he was so fixated on his own path and his own dream and trying to make that work, that he really wasn't able to let anything get in the way of that, including having a kid. So
happens, right?
he got a little obsessed with his dream, man. And so
that's interesting, though. What I find interesting is that you did not end up on drugs along the path.
Right. Man, it's interesting because I do look at some of the circumstances I could have fallen into because of the situation, crime, drugs, all types of things, man. But I'm gonna have to thank God on this one because growing up I was in a Catholic school, and I think having a solid foundation from the starting blocks is what kept me afloat when I wasn't in that same position. They had just beat it into me so hardcore in Catholic school what not to do. It was so drilled into me that there was no way I could turn to any of that stuff, man. So,
that's amazing.
So
yeah, that's amazing. So now you are the driver.
Right.
You are in a position to do things that your color skin has never done.
Well, not necessarily never done. Willie T. Ribbs, who wrote the foreword to my autobiography, he was the first African American to drive the Indy 500. Since then, it's been George Mack was the second one, and Chase Austin was heading that way, and he got into a really bad wreck, and that never happened for him. But yeah, so I'm in position to be the third ever one to do it. So could be cool, man. Could be cool, But more so than that. I like to focus on things that I control, right? I'm more proud of those things. Like, I had no choice over what color I was going to be or what race I was going to be, right? What I did have control over, though, was overcoming my circumstance of being homeless. So while I will be the third African-American to do it substantially, and coincidentally, I will be the first person who was homeless to do it on purposely. So that's what I'm more about, definitely.
So, who did you learn that skill from?
The driving or just the overcoming things, man. I don't know where that comes from, man. I don't know where it came from. I just a realization that life has got to be more than your circumstances. It just has to be, right? It just has to be. I guess I can kind of thank my mom for always just telling me you can do whatever, you can do whatever, you can do whatever. And that stuck with me. I took that to heart, and I believe it now. And that's kind of what I represent now is possibility. I represent hope, a chance. So I want other people who are in food insecure situations or on the streets homeless or any of that to think, you know what, it does get better. I'm in here now, but there's something else after that. And here's this guy who, he's in the world's most expensive sport. This is what this is. This is the world's most expensive sport. This and horse racing, right? I don't belong here. I'm not supposed to be here simply because of that. I don't come from the money. So if I can do this, you've got no excuse. I don't want to hear anything, man. So yeah, but.
One thing you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
One of the things I've done consistently over the last 3 years, volunteering, man. That's been a huge part of me and who I am at this part of my life. Is I'm at the Children's Bureau a lot. I'm at Gleaner's Food Bank a lot. Shout out to them. I'm the new brand ambassador for them, which is really, really cool. The Coalition for the Homeless in New York. Just a bunch of different organizations. Riley Children's Hospital. I get around doing my volunteer thing, man. That's definitely something I do pretty regularly, and keep that going, man. I feel good because I feel like I'm a little more relatable to most of the other people who volunteer. And this is nothing against the other people who volunteer, because obviously they're taking time out of their day to do stuff, which is awesome. But I think when you're talking to a kid who's homeless now, and you've actually been there, we connect. You know what I mean? We vibe on that. I'm also a type 1 diabetic, so when I'm at the Children's Hospital and I'm talking to a kid who's sick, I'm not just some guy who visits, it's that other guy who's sick, you know what I mean? And we connect on that.
That's another statistic.
And
you're going to be the first African American that's type 1 diabetic.
Yeah, that is type 1 that is type 1 diabetic. Wow. Yeah, man. Wow. So, and I happened to get my diabetes while I was out serving a tour in Iraq, in the military, and just it's just a cool mix of things that I think makes me relatable to a bunch of different people. And then just the more I put myself out there, the more I can truly make an impact. So volunteering is important to me, man.
Now, note well, being type 1 diabetic and taking a 5-hour shot is probably not a good idea.
Well, no, there's no sugar in it. There's no sugar in it. No, right? There's no sugar in it. No, it's you don't get the energy from the sugar. It's from the B12 vitamins and
there we go.
So yeah, man. I don't drink coffee. That's why.
All right, there we go.
Coffee tastes like sludge to me, man. I can't. I just can't do it. So,
where's the best place for people to follow you, connect with you?
Facebook, more so than anything. Kristian with a K, Ristin, last name Aleixo MRTI, which stands for Mazda Road to Indy, which is the series that we race in. So Kristian Aleixo MRTI on Facebook. And check out my book, My Life and Story, The Outside Groove, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kodo, Books A Million, and other fine retailers.
Love it. I love how you say it.
Well, thank you, man.
Let me invite you now.
I see what you did. You see what you did?
Let me invite you into my time.
I see what you did.
Right?
Yes.
That is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water.
Loving it already.
Like Maracas Beach, right?
Loving it already, man.
What is your earliest childhood memory?
What is my earliest childhood memory? Disneyland, when I was 5. I think is my earliest childhood memory. My grandma grew up in LA. I'm from Seattle, so it's pretty close for us to just travel back and forth. So I went down to spend the summer with her, and we went to Disneyland, and they had like a live elephant ride, and they put you on the elephant, and the elephant is supposed to go around this little loop and then bring you back to the family. I remember my elephant decided to go rogue, and he was just like, no, we're not. I've been doing that all day. We're you know, right? And he took off and went a completely different direction. I freaked out. I'm crying. I'm screaming. I don't know what's going on. This elephant is literally kidnapping me, and I don't know what to do. You know, and that's probably the earliest childhood memory I have.
Why do you think that memory is so clear? Why do you think that memory is so clear?
Because it was a little traumatic, man. I think that's what it was, man. It was just a little traumatic. Like I'm freaking out, man. Like, you know. And I think mixed with the excitement of being at Disneyland, it's like, whoa, this is going to be a cool day. Yeah. And then the cool day turned into, you know, an elephant kidnapping a small child. So that's yeah.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today, indirectly or directly?
You know, something I did notice about myself looking back on it was I got over it. Halfway through the elephant walking away, I stopped crying. And the reality hit me, and I got over it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't so bad. You know, maybe I had read the Jungle Book one too many times, or what. But I said, you know what? Me and this elephant are going to become friends. Yeah. You know, he's going to take me to the other, and we're just going to live as a family, and it's going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. And looking back throughout the challenges of my own life now, that's kind of the same attitude I still have. You know, stop crying for a second. Okay, wait, get yourself together. You're gonna be fine. You know, figure it out, right? So.
Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Of course, yeah.
You were born to be the road racer.
I like it. I like that. Right. Me and the elephant connect because I am him. Yeah. Right. I am the rogue elephant going off in this other direction, man. I like it, man.
Even though others are making the loop. Like circuit racing. Your loop is a bit different.
I like that actually, man. That's a cool interpretation. Yeah. I take that, man.
Boom.
It's okay.
If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song? When I was 12. Okay, so interesting thing about me was that rap music was not allowed in my house. So I had never heard like a full rap song until after my mother had passed when I was 13. So that left me with. I'm a huge Smokey Robinson fan, right. So I'm probably gonna have to go with probably "Ooh Baby Baby" or "Tears of a Clown," you know, and anything Smokey really. But that's what I grew up listening to until my mom passed, man. So yeah, I'd say that was.
Do you find yourself to be a bit clowny sometimes?
Yeah, man. I like to have a good time. I like to have fun, and I you know, life is serious enough as it is, you know what I mean? So if I can bring a little bit of comedy to it, why not, you know? But that's just naturally my personality, man. Right. Yeah.
Any Tears of a Clown?
You know what, man? That is just the saddest song, though, really, you know? And you don't understand it at 12 because you haven't been through a heartbreak yet. But really looking back on the song now, it's like,
it connects, right?
man, you know, because I'm pretty sure we've all been there at an adult stage. Where you know, you did have your heart broken and you had to kind of pretend to be okay in front of other people. You know, that's the worst when you run into an ex at a party and now I gotta pretend like I'm all right, like I wasn't just, you know, Monica, you know what I mean, like you know, 20 minutes ago, Monica, come back, you know, right? Put your hand on the window, the rain, and it's just, you know, right, just like, you know, and then you see her out, it's like, what's up, girl? Yeah, it's cool, you know, it's whatever, right? You know what I mean, right? You know, right?
We've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more, right?
Okay.
Have you chosen someone, Kristian, to pass on your skills to?
No, not yet. Well, I guess kind of indirectly. I don't have any children yet, but I do coach a lot with Racecraft One. Shout out to Racecraft One. The simulation facility on the north side of Indianapolis, where all of us race car drivers do our simulator training. But through them, I coach a lot of kids. Actually, this weekend we're at the Battle at the Brickyard at the Speedway right now, coaching a bunch of kids in quarter midgets. So you know, these are all 8, 9, 10-year-olds, you know, getting their start and starting to move up. So I guess in that way, you know, coaching the kids how to be fast is. I'm not. I do not have children. No, man. I'm working. I do believe in God.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
I do not.
How about 3 hours a week?
3 hours a week. Yeah.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
It's probably around 8 hours a day, just because most of my business is conducted on the phone and emailing and all that stuff. But yeah.
If you, Kristian, had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who Kristian Aleixo is, what would you say that is?
I would say that I came and I was given a set of challenges, and I was given that set of challenges in order to overcome them and to show others. You know, it's not even about me overcoming; it's about others seeing how I dealt. You know, I feel like a lot of people end up in situations that they may not know how to deal with. I don't know how to deal with it, but I want them to be able to look at me. You know, if you've been homeless, look at me. This is how you deal with it. If you've been sick, I'm sick, you know, look at me, this is how you deal with it, right? If you're sick and you were homeless and you still have a dream and you still want to get to it, this is how you deal with it. You know, if you fought in a war and you come home and you're struggling maybe mentally with what happened out there, you know, I've been to Iraq twice, this is how you deal with it, you know, and that's what I want. That's what I want. Just live my life as an example. Of not turning to outside sources, external things, drugs, crime, whatever people feel that they need to do when they're desperate, you know, to not feel a certain way and turn it into something positive and get through it, man. So,
love it. Kristian,
so yeah,
it's
bud.
a great pleasure. Before you
Likewise.
leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Keep following this guy. He seems awesome. And he's connecting with a whole bunch of different people. What you're doing is unique. This is definitely an awesome platform, man, and sharing everybody's story, and everybody can pick something out of it, man. So keep doing what you do.
Appreciate it.
You know, you're kind of great at wrangling. You're a wrangler, is what you are, right?
What's a wrangler?
You know, right? You're a wrangler, man. Like, you know, if you know, you got a bunch of wild horses, and they're really cool because they can say things, you know, but you bring them all together in order to do that, you know, and that's really cool, man.
I love it.
So keep wrangling, and
thanks for that.
yeah, bud. You know what?
Kristian Aleixo,
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for the time.
Inspired by 12-minute convos with Angel Jones. Boom.